This is MSNBC Live, July 2nd, 2017.
Account for the 45th President of the United States. I want to bring in Congressman Ted Lieu, a Democrat of California and a member of both the Judiciary and Foreign Affairs committees. Sir, you have also taken to Twitter to express your outrage and disdain for the type of behavior that we've seen from Donald Trump. Also, you tweeted just not that long ago about seeing the 25th Amendment trending on Twitter right now. What do you make of all of this, and is it really worth the amount of time and effort that not only you and your colleagues are having to concentrate on it, but the media in general?
Thank you, Thomas, for your question. I believe it is. Donald Trump has had a series of highly disturbing tweets, but his last one on Sunday morning was beyond disturbing. We now have the president encouraging violence against the news media. He is increasing the risk that a journalist is going to get injured or get killed, and that is wildly inappropriate. It also shows that this is what's in the president's mind. He is thinking about violence. He's thinking about assaulting a reporter.
But how is this any different? How is this any different, sir, than what we saw at all the rallies during the primary, or any of the instances where Donald Trump would either encourage violence of those that would stand up and protest, get that guy, I'll pay for your legal fees, or turn around and look at those people. Those are the most disgusting, dishonest people, turning the entire audience to the media and trying to make them the enemy. How is this any different from those moments?
That's a great point. Those were wildly inappropriate, but now he is president. It is entirely different when the president of the United States is encouraging violence against other human beings and against journalists. And that's what makes it so different. I serve on active duty in the U.S. military because I love America. And when we send our troops into harm's way, they need to know that the president is of sound mind, rational, and doing it for the right purposes. And these tweets make us question that.
Do you feel, though, that with the fact that you've had to respond, and certainly some of the language that you've used, kind of turning around the phrase about crooked on him, saying, "Dear crooked Donald Trump," it's not your use of social media that freaks people out, it's what you say on social media, or then reusing how he talked about Mika, "Dear low IQ, crazy Donald Trump," going after him that way, also dumb as a rock. Do you think that you're getting down in the mud with him? And you know what they say about that? When you do that to yourself? Do you think that's effective?
I remember Michelle Obama's wonderful phrase, "When they go low, we go high." I also realized that Democrats lost the election. So I'm not going to cede any part of political conversation. When they go low, I'm going to fight back, and I'm going to point out to the president and use the words right back at him, because it really shows how ridiculous his own words are. That's part of the point of the tweets.
Well, and that was, certainly during the election, and that could be a great phrase that was used as not to have to compete on his level at that time. But what about now, as he is the sitting president, as you are a sitting congressman? Doesn't it only perpetuate the type of discourse that so many are trying to work to end in D.C.?
That is a very good point. We all should be more civil in our discourse, but I'm not going to let unanswered when the president tweets out false things, or things encouraging violence, or things suggesting that he is mentally not well. I'm going to point those out and highlight them to the American public.
When you say not well, though, are you going a bridge too far in making an accusation like that without any type of proof other than these tweets and an assumption that you think that this would not be standard behavior for a president that then draws people in, and the use of drawing those people in, fake news, and the type of ammunition that this administration and its supporters would use against people that want to have an intellectual conversation about policy, this administration, our future?
I am happy to have an intellectual conversation with the president about healthcare, about Vladimir Putin, about North Korea. But when he tweets out these incoherent messages or messages encouraging violence, we need to respond, and we need to highlight this, because Donald Trump is a leader of the free world, the most amazing country in the world. And we need to understand, is he up to the job? Is he mentally capable of doing this job?
Is there anything you can do to find out through the committees that you sit on? Is there any action that you can forward to see about that request being met?
I am asking the Republican leadership for their help. They need to put country above party. We need an intervention. They need to intervene because something is not right now with the White House and with the President of the United States.
And when you talk about the meeting with Vladimir Putin coming up, what do you want to see from this president and that first face-to-face meeting with him? Do you anticipate that this president would challenge him about the collective judgment of our intel community that, yes, Russia was the one that interfered, meddling in our 2016 election?
I do not have confidence the president is going to do that. That's part of the problem. I want the president to go to Vladimir Putin and say, do not oppose the U.S. in Syria. Do not fund Iran's defenses. Do not do things against U.S. interests in Ukraine, and do not meddle in our elections. I have no confidence the president is going to say that to Vladimir Putin.
Congressman Ted Lieu, thank you, sir, for joining us today. We appreciate it. We look forward to having you back on MSNBC in the future.
Thank you.
So what President Obama is actually doing behind the scenes to